Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is Wally here. I hope you all are having a fantastic time wherever you are. Today, I'd like to talk to us about a topic I call the transformation within. But before we begin, I'd like us to understand this. As humans, the first and the most important level of understanding is realizing that we're spirits living inside a body. In other words, there is more to us than this physical body that we live in. In order for us to even begin to scratch the surface of this reality, I'd like us to consider the transformation process that exists inside of a butterfly. Let's define transformation. Transformation can be defined as a change, a dramatic or a sudden change that exists in a person. It can be in the appearance or in the character. Again, we could define transformation as a dramatic or sudden or systematic change in a person's character or appearance. So, why do we consider a butterfly's transformation one that can be used to explain this? Well, let's go through all the stages. I'll say the four stages of the transformation phase or stages in a butterfly. The first stage, this is the egg stage. We also call it the resting stage. This is actually the stage that a lot of people forget about because it's the foundation, it's the beginning process of the entire metamorphosis of the butterfly. In this stage, very little attention is placed on the butterfly. If we look at it in terms of who we are as humans, this is one of the most difficult stages that we experience. Because as humans, there have been times where we have felt inadequate in some things. Maybe we've just started a new job, or we've just started a new school, or a new career path, or even going from working as an employee to owning one's business. One way or another, we've had those feelings of inadequacy. If we look at this stage in the butterfly's process, it's almost equivalent to this. We always feel that there is something more to us than what everybody sees. All the possibilities, all the potential, everything, the whole package. But the sad part is nobody sees it. Only you know inside of you that there's so much more to me than everybody gives me credit for. The crazy thing about this stage is that everybody around you seems to be doing great except for you. People are living the life of their dreams, buying cars, building houses, living in new mansions, and things like that. The only thing you have is your dream, your aspirations, what you hope to become in future. Unfortunately, everything is a process. There is not a whole lot you can do at this stage. But the one thing you can do is to hold on to your dreams. In time, those things will begin to materialize. However, the frustration in a lot of people makes them to actually lose this part of the process. It gets frustrating, but it's a process. There's not a whole lot you can do. Now let's transition to the second stage. This stage is the growth stage. This is where the eggs become the caterpillar, or what we call the larva. Now, this is the very exciting stage. This is the stage where the eggs become the caterpillar, and then the caterpillar begins to understand, oh, look at me, I can eat. All the caterpillar does at this stage is to eat. It eats everything in sight. and begins to grow and expand. That's why we call it the growth stage. If we compare this stage to us as humans, we will realize the importance of this stage. This is the stage where we went from actually having dreams, just dreams in our egg stage, to beginning to do something about those dreams, beginning to gather information. Whatever you aspire to be, this is the stage where you begin to try to make it work for yourself. The sad part or the concerning part about this stage is you feel like this is all of it. Everything that is in it for you in life lies in this stage. If you're not careful, you will think that the entirety of your life is in this stage. You begin to move a little bit. There's some mobility in your life, and then you think this is the end of your life. This is how it is. If you look at the caterpillar, you would think that this is the end of the caterpillar's existence. This is where it ends. But in reality, this is only the beginning. So we put this stage in context of the human life and realize that this is the beginning. Where we begin to find ourselves is only the beginning, not the end. So we move over to the third stage. The third stage is the chrysalis stage, which is also known as the cocoon stage, the transformation stage, the real deal. This is where the metamorphosis of the butterfly begins. This is actually one of the most significant, if not the most significant period in the metamorphosis or in the transformation of the butterfly. This is where, if you compare to humans, this is the most important part of your life, where you insulate yourself from the outside world. Your dreams, your aspirations, and everything you want to be in life is around this stage, but you have to be able to keep it from negative thoughts. It is at this stage that you only want to mingle around people who want the best for you. It is not a bad thing for you to actually understand that not everybody wants the best for you. You don't have to be cynical about it, but you have to understand that this actually is a reality. The butterfly at this stage becomes extremely impatient. You realize that you're becoming. You went from the egg stage of dreaming to actually beginning to see yourself being somebody, something that you've never experienced before. And you can't just wait to begin to live that life. However, there is a catch. It's called patience. You cannot jump the process. You would have to wait patiently for that big reveal. That big reveal is going to come, but it cannot come prematurely. Otherwise, the entire process will be destroyed. As humans, we have to understand that this is one of the most important times of our lives. As a result, we need to protect ourselves. We need to protect our minds. We need to protect our dreams. At this stage, everything we're trying to do, not everybody will want it to come for you. You surround yourself with familiar minds, with like minds, so to speak, with the people that have the same aspirations as you. This is the stage. Because if anything is missing, the destruction starts right here. And then we move over to what I call the flight stage, the leap stage, as well as the reproduction stage. This is the fourth stage of the metamorphosis or the transformation of the butterfly. In this stage of transformation, the butterfly learns to fly. as it moves from the chrysalis or the cocoon. Nobody can help you do that as a human. You would have to do that for yourself. The moment the butterfly takes flight, reproduction begins for it. It starts to lay eggs, and the cycle begins or starts all over again. This can also be referred or be compared to the life of a human. This is the most important, or should I say, the most, for lack of a better term, I'll use important at this point. This stage is where you begin to understand that your power or who you are lies in a power that is greater than you. You depend on a higher source for inspiration. Whatever you do at this stage, you live a life that is besides yourself. You go for a purpose that is greater than you. Because you get your strength from a higher source or an infinite source, or from God, or from the universe, whatever this means to you, you understand that you are not alone anymore. Every decision you make or you take comes from inspiration. This is the stage. When you take flight understanding that other people would depend on you. From the transformation, from the beginning stage of the transformation of a butterfly, the egg stage, which is the resting stage, to the growth stage, to the transformation stage, and then the flight and reproduction stage. This last stage is when humans understand that I no longer live for myself. All the other stages all had to do with the butterfly's transformation. In this last stage, especially when reproduction comes into play, it's not all about the butterfly anymore. It's about the reproduction that comes with the full glory of the butterfly. Now, it brings us to the most important part of this conversation, which is the transformation of the mind. Everything we've talked about brings from the first stage to the fourth stage, brings us to this particular topic. True transformation starts from the mind. That's why the book says, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." In order for true transformation to take place, it has to start from the mind. The mind is more complicated than we've ever thought before in our lifetime. More research is showing how complicated the mind is. It is the reason for the results we're getting. Now, we will have a part 2 where total focus will be placed on the transformation that exists in the mind. We will go through 4 stages, just the way we did in the metamorphosis or in the transformation of the butterfly, from stage 1 all the way to stage 4. We will also have a transformation of the mind from stage 1 all the way to stage 4, and go through the comparisons and how it affects us as humans. Remember, there is more to us than these bodies that we live in. We're spirits. The focus must be on the true essence of who we are, which is spiritual. Next time, we will talk about that transformation that makes us who we are. Until next time, y'all take care of your thoughts, take care of your mind, and take care of your bodies.